Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Darkness, a Golgari deck that brings the heat with a very well-known card from the recent Lorwyn set. We're loaded up with removals, a touch of card draw, a way to get men back from the grave, and a way to use lands to generate men. It's a deck that brings resilience and pain, things that Golgari does well. Ideally, we build up an air force and then pump our men for repeated hits in the air. Even if we lose men, we can get them back from the grave. And not just our men, but we can even get their men to come over to the shark side. Let's get in there. We're playing the full set of Dawnhand Dissident. It's a small guy that does so much. We can tap him for a surveil, or we can exile a card from any grave. It's a great way to help improve our draws and to slow down any reanimation the opponent is trying to do. As a bonus, we can even play out men that were exiled by the Dissident by removing 3 counters from our men. It's a great way to get enemy men on our side and use their own weapons against them. Requiting Hex is the first of our removals. This one hits enemies that are 2 mana or less. It's a great card to use against opposing cubs or other early men that we can't let the opponent keep in play. We have the option to blight 1, and if we do, we also gain 2 life. Feed the Cycle is another removal. This one will hit any enemy and gives us the option to hit planeswalkers as well. We can fire it off for 2 mana, but we have to forage, or we can pay an extra black. That does bring the cost up to 3, but there are no limits to which enemy we hit with it, and we have the versatility to strike down planeswalkers. The Terminus of Return is a mana artifact first, so we've even got a bit of ramp in the deck packing so much. When we have enough mana, we can exile one of our men and harness the power of the Terminus. Once harnessed, we get one of our men back from the grave and onto the battlefield during each of our upkeeps. It's a great way to get back our fallen men for another go and to help end games that have gone long. Bitterbloom Bearer is the builder of our Air Force. This fairy comes in hot at instant speed and will generate a 1/1 flyer during each of our upkeeps. It will cost us a life for every token we get, but the damages they inflict on the opponent will be much more. We're also playing Badgermole Cub, the fantastic little fella that helps ramp us and will animate one of our lands thanks to its earthbending ability. We don't have other mana-generating men, but we do have another way to earthbend more lands and increase our available mana. Mosswood Dreadknight is a staple of Undying Golgari decks, and we've brought him along as well. We can use Dread Whispers for card draw and play him out to get in hits on the opponent. With his trample ability, he's likely to score damages against smaller defenders. And we don't mind if the knight dies. If he does, we can play the Dread Whispers again for more draw. He's a tough guy that keeps coming back for more. Formidable Speaker is another new card that lets us tutor up any one of our other men at the cost of discarding a card. Whichever one of our men would be great for the situation we're in, that's what we can go get. And for a single mana, we can tap the Speaker to untap another permanent. The Tapworm is here to pump our team, especially the flying men we are generating with the Bearer. A small squad of growing flyers should be able to get the job done. We don't have a way to boost the Tapeworm's power, but we have ways to get it back from the grave if it gets sniped. And we have a way to tutor up for it. Virtue of Persistence is a removal early and late in the game. It can give us men from any grave. The advantage that gives us is often enough to help us take the game. For lands, we're playing 4 Fabled Passage, the special land we can use to fetch out any basic from our deck. 4 Wastewood Verge, the forest that becomes a dual when we have a forest or swamp in play. 2 Restless Cottage, the Golgari man land. 4 Forest. 3 Ba Sing Se, the special land that lets us earthbend other lands. 5 Swamp. And 2 Realm of Koh, the special land we can use to generate token men. Playing the deck is fairly straightforward. It's all about getting our men in play and using our removals to snipe key enemies. An amazing line of plays involves a turn 2 Cub, followed by a turn 3 Bearer, and a Tapeworm on turn 4. We build up an Air Force and send in our team of growing flyers turn after turn. Even if we lose men, we can generate tokens or earthbend lands and continue to put up pressure. Once in the late game, we can gain the advantage by harnessing the Terminus or playing out a Virtue. We'll get men back from their grave or use our own to continue to press. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is my 5-stir ham. He porks his pork, the other white meat. We're kicking things off with a 3-lander with a cub and 3 of our early removals. It's not bad, although I do hate to lean on removals so much. We do have a Bossing Say to help earthbend more lands. Keep your pants on. They hit us with a duress that lets them snipe any card out of our hand, minus the lands and the cub. I have to think they're taking the virtue. And they do just that. We'll go with the cub that will give us a pair of men, and we can start striking back. They use a virtue of their own to snipe our cub. While that does eliminate it, we're far from being able to make plays. We draw a bearer, which is great. We just need the double black to play him out. We do have a speaker, which we can use to fetch out a tapeworm, and with that, we can start building an air force worthy of Mordor. For now, we'll just take a chill pill. They play out a Preacher. At 3 mana, it is out of range of our removals. While that could be a problem, we do have the Speaker, which requires us to toss a card in order for the tutor ability to work, and we can simply toss a removal since those might not find a target if all their men are 3 mana or more. It is likely we should have played out the Terminus on our last turn, but we'll do so this time around. They go with an Annex. Our friend has resuscitated Demon Black. It might be on life support, but it could still deal us some damage. They send the Preacher, and we'll take the hit. There's no real reason to give up our angry outhouse just yet. With their triggers out of the way, we'll play out the Bearer. We'll send everyone that can go. The key here is to keep pace with their damages. We'll go ahead and play out the Speaker, and we'll toss one of our removals. Turning cards we can't use into cards we can. Thanks, Speaker. It might seem weird, but we'll grab a cub, and we even have the mana to play it out. They play out a Bloodletter, and now our Air Force won't be able to get in for damages, and it's yet another enemy that is out of range of our removal. They send the Preacher, and we'll use our token to block. There is no need to take 4 damages from this one hit alone. We'll be taking plenty, thanks to the Annex and our own Bearer. We draw another Speaker. For once, the Shuffler has blessed us with a gift, and we can play it out and toss our useless removal to fetch out a Tapeworm. And thanks to the Cub we grabbed on our last turn, we have the mana to play it out. We still don't have effective attacks, but their window is closing as well. It's snipe our Tapeworm or face some consequences. Their play is a nowhere to run, and they use it to snipe our Bearer. It's a very real problem for them. But we have the mana to harness our Terminus, and once we do, we can start getting back our dead men. It's just a matter of time. They follow up with a Revenant. It's a flying death touch and lifelink machine. We definitely need to get our Air Force going again fast. They send the Preacher, but that's all. We don't want to take the hit, and we can afford to lose the men we have on board, but we can afford to lose one of our lands. With the block posted, we can use the land to sacrifice our food and gain a bit of life. Grab a Snickers. You're not yourself when you're hungry. The Shuffler hates them. We get another Bearer. We could play it out now, and the Bearer will get the Tapeworm pump. Or we can wait and play it out at the end of their turn. Which feels better to me, since they could have another sorcery speed removal and take it out. Our attacks don't look great, but we can afford to send in the Speakers. Any hits we get in with now will pay off big on our next turn when our team gets even more pump. They block up. The Revenant is going down a hole. That's great for us, since we wouldn't have been able to block both of their flyers. Sure, we lose one of our men, but we got the Bearer to play out still. We can earthbend a land and have it up as a blocker for their Preacher. But at this point, they can't afford to send it, so it'll be an excellent attacker next time. They double down on Bloodletter, but that might not be enough. They follow up with a Demon Wall. With 4 blockers, they might be able to hold us off for a turn. But what about the turn after that? They send the Preacher. That's a critical blocker. They just tap down for us. Thanks, bro. I appreciate the kind gesture. Or maybe they think their life total is out of our reach. We'll block with our token. It's time to end the Preacher. They go up to 24 life and we'll play out our Bearer. And it's time to call up the lads in accounting. I'm not good with maths. Are we at lethality, boys? Let's earthbend another land before we get in for damages. The accounting team says we are a go for pain and punishment. Let's send everyone that can go. With 7 attackers, 4 of our men will get through. That's GG's, extra land cheese. I like it when a plan comes together. This is Bo1 Noggles. He comes from a long line of burning Noggles. We get a mono black Shuffler special with a couple of removals. A Bearer is the highlight. We do have a couple of green men we can't play out, but even then the Cub is the only one stuck in our hand. Keep your hopes up. We draw yet another removal in the form of a Virtue. Early enemy men will not be a problem. Some men will be going to their graves. I'm not going to name names, but there will be dead. It's the end of their turn, and we'll try the Bearer. Since they left mana up, that's a good indicator they might have something. And they fire off a No More Lies. Now that they're tapped, let's draw. A land would be great. They are not interested in making any plays. Early on, you can never tell if the opponent is an experienced control player or if they just picked it up recently. We'll go with the Terminus. While we could have tried to follow up with a Cub, Let's keep mana up to use a removal on their manland if they try to go for that line. The Hex here is perfect. It's time to try for a Cub. Let's see if they're holding more counters. The Cub goes through. Now we can follow up with the other Cub. Or better yet, the Dreadknight. If they clear the board, we'll get another draw with the Knight. They play out a Drowner and use it to tap down our Cub. That's fine, it's not quite removal, and we have a backup Cub in hand. They go for a second Drowner, and will fire off our removal to snipe their first one. They won't be able to take out both of our men. They play out a High Noon. It's like we're playing against our own airbending avatar deck. Except we don't use the Drowner. They do use the Drowner to take away our Cub. That definitely doesn't feel like a good move for them. They've got nothing on board and we've still got 4 power. It's time for our second Cub to get in there. Sure, we could leave mana up for our removal, but if they want to trade blows, we've got more damages than their manland on board. We're fine battling it out, blow for blow. They fire off an Avatar's Wrath. That's not that big a deal. We play out the Cub and we get half our men back. We draw a Bearer and we'll play it out. Let's get it down before they can counter it. If they have another No More Lies, we do have the mana to pay for the tax. They drop in a Voice of Victory. Thanks to its ability, we won't be able to play cards on their turn. We have no choice but to take it out. They play out an Interrupter to stop our Virtue, but that's a mistake. We can now play out the Virtue as an enchantment for only 2 mana. Oopsie poopsie, bro. They went for short-term gain over any kind of long-term advantage. They send the Voice. If they're going to oopsie poopsie, they should have at least sent everything. With the Bearer trigger on the stack, they play out a Tidebinder. It's a Trapper Keeper. That is their play for the turn, though, and they've got nothing but top decks from here until Underverse come. We still need the Voice gone to unlock our instance. We'll smell you later, bro. They drew a land. That's too bad. For them. And now we'll unlock their Interrupter. He's free to get in a hole. They pumped their Trapper Keeper. Even pumped up, it's not out of range. It's already got a foot in the grave. Our play for the turn will be the Virtue. Now we can start getting back men from any grave. It's all over, but the crying. Before they draw a card, let's snipe their Trapper Keeper. We're pulling the pages out of this one. They finally activate their man land. We can't snipe it now, but we can do so next time. Let's grab their Voice of Victory. With it in play on our side, they won't be able to play anything on our turn, and they'll be truly limited by their own High Noon. We'll go with our Cub. No particular reason other than the opponent seemed to hate it. They ended up drawing a second voice. Now all we can do is play out cards on each of our own turns. Well, not for long. We've got a couple of removals to fix this situation. They activate their land, and it'll get to stay on board thanks to their voice. They used their map token to go for Pump on the Voice. Should have done that on the man land. They send it, and we'll throw a block. Sure, it's only 2 damages, but we need to stay above 5. That High Noon is exactly 5 damages, sitting there, staring us in the face. They did get some Pump on their Voice, so we have to use Feed the Cycle on it. We have to clear out their blocker. We're getting a touch too close to 5 life. They've got 2 cards in hand, and they need a pile of blockers or another sweeper. They play out an Aang to airbend their voice. That was their play for the turn, though, so that's it. We'll get their Drowner, we can use it to tap down their blocker. Then we can send it. If they activate their man land, it'll be their only blocker. And we still have lethality. Nothing beats using their own stuff to shark them. Let's get in there. They hit us for 5 with their High Noon as a going-away present. Thanks, but you are deader than I. That's GG's. Extra steel, they're men cheese. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.